All right, let's go out to Springfield, Illinois, and talk to Lois Lane. What's up, Lois?
Hi there, Superman.
Yeah. Yes, I knew it. I'm going to clip that and make my daughter listen to it. What's up?
Well, speaking of New Year's resolutions and whatever, mine was to be more honest with myself.
Uh-oh, that usually comes with a lot of yikes.
I stirred the pot, that's for sure.
Yeah, you did.
So my question is, how can my husband and I of 32 years communicate better so that we can interpret each other smoother?
Ooh. I actually, this is going to sound embarrassing. There's 2 sentences that will change. I don't even know what you're about to say. There are 2 sentences I'm going to teach you that will change everything in your house. But the more important part is, will you and your husband actually do this? So tell me the story. Tell me the story of this romance and how we ended up here.
Okay. So way back in my college days, I met my cousin's roommate. And before I even met him, I was interested just because he was the right age. And anyway, so it was easy for me to know that he was the one. And I was his first and only girlfriend.
Gross.
So
Gross. It's like a Dawson's Creek episode. All right, so
yes.
Y'all looked at each other across the room. The Titanic music started playing. It happened, and then what?
So we did everything in the right order. We graduated from college, waited a little over a year to get married, waited 4 years to have kids, and we waited because he wasn't ready, and he got tired of me asking every 5 seconds, can we have kids? Can we have kids now? So finally I wore him down. And my first one was preemie, 1 pound, 11 ounces. And I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for this. But turned out wonderful. And then 2 years later, we had our second daughter. And that was going to be it for me. I'm like, obviously, I need to just limit to 2. So basically, we just had the ideal life. And he's an engineer and I'm an accountant. And
God, I bet your romantic talk is just... God.
But we're 2 different types of nerds. So I like the big picture and he likes the fine details. And I like the bottom line, but also want to know, what did I overspend on my, grocery budget? Because I'm still buying groceries for the grown girls because I go up to see them and I go out grocery shopping. Anyway, so we're in a different phase of life now that is just the 2 of us. And we were able to retire early because of Dave and listening to him back in 2011. I finally got on the bandwagon and decided that I didn't have to laugh at my husband wanting us to pay cash for a car. And so even though I was an accountant, I didn't really know personal finance. So my husband is just like, who is this Dave? And let's just do it, So anyway,
so bring me to right now.
Yeah, right now it's like we're in a different phase of life, and I think we haven't communicated to each other what we want retirement to be like. And so every little thing gets misinterpreted, or we both like to be right. And so we don't trust what the other one's saying.
Okay.
So you want to give you an example?
Well, I'll take one in a minute, but I want you to sit in something really uncomfortable. We're all telling the truth, right?
Yes, right.
And you've listened to the show before, so I wish I had like 2 hours just to hang out and have a margarita with you. I bet we would laugh our heads off. But, and I would pay for it, of course, because you're an accountant. But I want us to be able to like just cut to it. So, when you just painted me a picture, how long have you been married?
32 years.
Not one time did you talk about how much you like that guy or your romance. You laid it out like it's in an Excel spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any literature on this. So I'm overgeneralizing it. I'm actually making something up. So I'm sure if somebody has a study, I would love to read it. But I can't imagine that sexual intimacy, like just gooey, gross romance, just oozes out of an engineer married an accountant. And so
you got it.
What you just laid out for me is y'all built a really functioning, good, profitable business together. And I will applaud you. But man, I hope you didn't miss out on the good stuff. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Does that hurt to hear that?
It's emotional because that's what I've been asking for.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Whew. I'm sorry. Is it something that your husband couldn't give you? And what I mean by that is he didn't have the skills? He didn't know what he's doing? Or is it
Probably.
something he was like, nope, I'm not, you don't get that from me?
Yeah, he says that a lot.
What's that?
That's not his style. That's he just doesn't know how to have fun.
Okay. Give me an example of something. There's something that happened recently. That's why you would call. So tell me what that would be. I'm assuming that's something that happened.
Yeah. So it was just a week ago. I was going to run some errands and then go to Bible study and then I'd be home. And one of the errands was to pick up an order. And I thought the place would be open till 10 because it usually is open till 10. And when I got there at 9:10, it was closed. And then it took me an hour to go grocery shopping. I got home at 11. And he's like, what took you so long? I was like, well, I was trying to pick up the order for you. And I said, but they had already closed. And I said, if I had known what time they closed, I would have been home a lot sooner. I wouldn't even gone grocery shopping. I would have waited some other time. And he says, well, I told you that they were going to close earlier than 9. And I said, but you didn't. I said, you thought they closed at 6 on a Saturday. Or Wednesday. I don't know what day it was. Anyway, I guess it was a Wednesday night. Okay. So I said, I did talk to an employee, and normally they are open till 10, but when the time changes, they close at 9 until the time changes again, and then they close at 10. And he said that he saw right on the app that they closed at 9. Why didn't I see it? I said, because when I opened the app, I was already there. I said, I didn't have time to look it up ahead of time. And the fact that he knew that they closed at 9, but didn't tell me.
Did he know you were going to run a special errand for him?
Yes.
And when you asked, why didn't you tell me? What did he say?
He said, I thought you checked the app.
Is that true, or is he lying to you?
He doesn't lie.
Okay.
But in his mind.
In his mind, as Mr. Engineer, it would not ever occur to him to leave the house, not knowing exactly where he's going, what time they open, who the manager is, where that manager went to college, like, right? So, like, that would never even occur to him.
Right.
So if you say, you loosey-goosey accountant, you, if you're leaving the house, of course you've checked all the times. But when you retold the story, can I tell you one thing that made me just cringe inside?
Yeah.
Is you said, I went to do a nice thing for you. I went to try to demonstrate that I love you. And I wouldn't have if I'd known it, right? And then you had to get that jab in there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then he's just got stabbed, and he's got to stab you back. And now now we're in the parking lot fighting over like a what? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't buy that's just not my style. When you get married, you take a knee in front of somebody and you say, I will do whatever I can in my power to help meet your needs. It is not my style to be on time. It's just not. I like having conversations. That's my style. My style is making somebody feel heard.
Mm-hmm.
My style is, dude, when I get there, it's going to be amazing. Everybody just chill out. My style is, I'm just going to wear black t-shirts everywhere because it makes my life easier.
Mm-hmm.
Then my wife says, hey, I want to go out somewhere nice. It would mean a lot to me if you dressed up. Now, I could say, that's just not my style. You know who you married. You know what that makes me? Excuse my French. It makes me an ass. It makes me a child. When she says, hey, it embarrasses me when we show up places late all the time. Oh, that's not my style. That's not how I roll. No, dude. You got it. I got to change this. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't buy his this or that, okay? But I also want to dig a layer deeper. How much of this over the years has there been explicit instruction versus it doesn't feel as romantic? If I have to say it, it's just not romantic. And if I have to say it and explain it and teach him how to do X, Y, or Z, then it just doesn't feel like it matters as much to him. It's kind of like the thing that I tell parents all the time who have their first kid. You have to put sex on the calendar now. And I know somehow Hollywood told you that means it's not as good or something, but you have a toddler now. So you can have no sex or planned sex. That's it. That's the two choices you got. Similarly, have you spent 30 years hoping he just gets it and then being really mad that he didn't get it? Or have you been really explicit with, I need you to love me like this? Because those are two different scenarios.
So in the last 10 years, I've tried to voice exactly what I want. Like, I want a foot rub every day.
Okay.
And
what is it? Okay, let's take that. What does a foot rub mean to you? Besides it feels good. Obviously, foot rub feels good.
Because it's like for my health, I actually need it.
Okay.
And it just makes my day so much better.
Okay. And also, is it kind of cool to have the man you love for 3 decades, 30 years, just kind of stop everything and focus on you for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And skin-to-skin contact is magic. And if you've watched Pulp Fiction, we all know that foot massages are kind of erotic, right? All of it, right? And you need it.
Well, it doesn't even have to be erotic.
I know. I'm just being silly, but it's everything. And there's circulation issues and all that. So,
right.
And what does he say? No, I'm not doing that. Or does he do it?
I usually have to remind him that I really need one.
Okay.
But last night, he did it without me even asking.
Okay. Have you ever told him the layer beneath the layer? Because here's a perfect example. Somebody says, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z for me. I need you to rub my shoulders because I've been lifting weights and I've got pain in my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I've just made our exchange an ROI. I've made it a transaction. I've made it a medical procedure. And I hold all of my stress, every ounce of stress in my life, I hold it in my neck. And my wife is a master, like, off-grid chiropractor. She can pop my back in the wildest ways. It's awesome. But I told her once, because I always say, hey, we pop my back, we pop my back, we pop my back. One time I told her, this is years and years ago, hey, like it means something to me. Just that moment of connection when you're tracing down my spine, trying to figure out where it's out.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a moment. But when I explained to her, hey, this is medically and this is transactiony, and I'm actually asking you to pause what you're doing to like do a chore for me. Also, this is a moment where we can connect. Dude, she has never once said no. She will ask me. She can now watch. She started watching for the way I walk. Right? But it was me explaining, hey, there's a level deeper here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where you and your husband sit is this. Let me ask you the scary question. Are you going to end this marriage? Are you out? Have you reached a point where you're saying like, I don't want the next 30 years of my life to be like this?
No.
Okay. So there's 2 sentences. One is from Dr. Brene Brown and the other is from Dr. William Glasser. Okay. That have transformed marriages all across the country. I'm going to give them both to you right now. Cool?
Yep.
All of this is going to sit on a foundation of, hey, husband, I want to go on a weekend retreat with you. You can bring your spreadsheets. You can bring your architectural designs. You can bring your strategic planning tools. But I want to, our life has changed. Our daughters are gone. Everything in our home is different. And we have to reimagine our marriage. And I don't like bickering at you. I don't like poking at you. And I don't think you like poking at me. And I know you're very smart, and hopefully you don't think I'm dumb, but we've just started talking to each other. I speak in Spanish, and you talk back to me in Italian, and I want us to learn a new language together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. German, or Spanish and German.
There you go. Spanish and German. There you go. So if you sat down and said, hey, I've booked us this retreat for half a day, for a whole day, would he say, and I want to reimagine our marriage for the next 25 years, because we get to decide whether it's fun or whether it just keeps being this. Would he be happy about that, or would he be like, oh, God, another thing to do?
Actually, we did something like that 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so he's been wanting to do something again.
Amazing.
But as far as imagining it, he just feels like we have to plow through all the past.
Okay.
Before we can dream again.
I think it's best to have a place where we're going. Okay. So when somebody comes into a gym and says, hey, my doctor told me that if I don't lose 100 pounds, I'm going to die. The personal trainer doesn't sit there and go, well, all right, we're going to have to go in that back room for the next 6 months, and we're going to have to figure out why you ate so much and why you put on. No, we're going to start losing weight. Okay. So I think the best way to kind of peel back the past, and it's going to sound wild, is to sit down and ask each other, 25 years from now, I'm 75, you're 75. What do we want our house to feel like?
Mm-hmm.
What do we want our marriage to feel like? Warmth, hilarious, joy, grumpy. What do we want it to feel like? Where do we want it to be? So I want you to paint a picture so clear as to where you're headed. And then we're going to reverse engineer it. What has to be true? For me to come home and this thing to be warm, man, I got to learn a new way to talk to you. You see how we're going to get there that way?
Mm-hmm.
Because you two don't have the skills to go in the back and go through the old boxes, because both of you get ashamed, both of you feel some guilt, both of you feel attacked, and then you just start knifing each other, and then it's over.
Yep.
Right? So I don't think y'all have the skills to go backwards yet. I do think, based on the world you've created, 2 amazing daughters, you retired early, y'all can work together as a team. I want y'all to work together and imagine this thing y'all could have in 25 years. Financially, romantically. Do y'all still want to be 75-year-old couple still trying to figure out and have some sex? Put that on the thing. Put all of it out there, okay? And then here's the 2 questions they're going to get you there. Okay? Number 1, I want you both to ask the question, or say this out loud when you are interacting. So let's take the situation that happened at the store.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got home. What took you so long? Well, dude, I went to go pick up that thing for you, and they were closed. I know. Didn't you check the app? Pause. Honey, the story I'm choosing to make up is that you think I'm stupid.
Mm.
The phrase, the story I'm choosing to make up is, and that's from Dr. Brown. Well, didn't you know that they close? The story I'm choosing to make up is that you think I just got in the car in the middle of the winter and drove around the neighborhood till 11 o'clock. And vice versa, he'll say, the story I'm choosing to make up is after our great date last night, you just don't think I'm attractive anymore and you don't want to have sex with me. And you can go, actually, that's true. You've put on 75 pounds when you talk about that. I'm worried about your health. Or it could be, oh, honey, I had gas so bad while we were eating dinner all night. I was trying so hard not to blow you out of the restaurant. Like it had nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that phrase, the story I'm choosing to make up is, you don't think that our daughters are worth groceries. And he can say, oh, no, honey, you've been taking care of them for so long. My story is they're grown-ups. They need to buy their own groceries. That has nothing to do with you, but it might come out at you. See what I'm saying? That's sentence number 1. Sentence number 2 is, What is your picture for? We speak in pictures. We speak in words, but we think in pictures. So you both say, I need you to go pick up that thing. I'm going to go pick up that thing. Cool. You have a picture of what that looks like. You going at 9 o'clock at night and then going ahead to pick up groceries afterwards. Your husband has a picture of what that looks like, which is check the app, see if they're open. Oh, they're not even open. We're going to go tomorrow. Or, hey, we're going to go visit the girls. Well, when you say that, his picture is, cool, we're going to make a 9-hour drive, no bathroom stops, no food. We're going to get there. We're going to hang out for 24 hours. We're going to come back. Your picture of, hey, we're going to go visit the girls, same exact words are, well, I'm going to swing by the store. I'm going to shop at Costco and spend $850 to make sure they don't have to buy groceries for the next calendar year. And then we're going to spend 3 days. You're going to re-roof the house, honey. I'm going to see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets mad that you want to stop, and you get mad that he doesn't want to stop because you both said, we're going to go see the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And so before my wife and I do anything, I asked it last night. Hey, what's your picture of tonight look like? What's your picture of the morning look like? Because sometimes my wife will say, hey, I just need some space tonight. The kids have been bananas. And I'm like, cool. After dinner, after everything's put away and after the kids are in bed, you don't want me messing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. For her, space means, oh, no. When you walk in the door, I'm leaving. Right? You're doing dinner, food.
Accurate.
Right. Exactly. So, hey, when she says, hey, tonight I need some space, and I say, what's your picture of that look like? And she goes, yeah, at like 5 o'clock, I'm going to go take myself to dinner, and I'm going to get some writing done. Awesome. Dude, I love spending my night with my kids. It's chaos. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't like feeling like I let her down because then I feel ashamed. And I don't like feeling like I'm failing in my own house, which y'all have probably both felt for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Those two sentences will dramatically transform your marriage if you're both committed to making this thing amazing. And quote unquote, this thing amazing, number one, you have to sit down and talk about what your picture of amazing looks like. And that is the planning. Let's go away for a retreat and build. Where are we going to live? What's our house going to look like? Both of y'all take some time and get on Pinterest or Google. Find some houses you want to have. Are you going to move by the girls? Are you going to stay here? What kind of cars are you going to have? Are y'all going to be fit 75-year-olds? Are you going to be 75-year-olds that I don't give a crap anymore? I'm eating pizza and Twinkies all the time. What world are y'all going to build? Romantically, sexually, financially, practically, geographically, what kind of world do you want to have? And then reverse engineer it to right now. What has to be true? I'll leave you with one more thing. As y'all start looking in the back room at those old boxes, the way y'all used to treat each other, the things you wish, things you regret, all that. Always use the word I. I want to be more intimate, and I didn't tell you. Or I told you, but I don't think I made it clear enough for it. I'm sorry. I wanted to do X, Y, Z. When you start lobbing you, then y'all are going to have to fight each other. So make all the frustrations and complaints when y'all start going back in the past about I need this. I want this. I don't want to fight you about an app anymore. I don't want to fight you about trying to do a nice thing for you. I don't want to fight you about going to visit the girls. Make it about I. Okay? And not in a passive aggressive way, but very much, I'm just telling you what I need. I think there's a lot of hope for you, Lois, especially if y'all get on the same page and you say, all right, we're fighting for this thing. We're building something amazing. Use those two sentences to transform everything. And then you got to go do it. Let me know how that retreat goes. We can't wait to find out.